In a land far, far away, Cinderella and her two stepsisters were living in the same house. Her sisters always treated Cinderella incredibly badly and made her do all of their work. One day, the three sisters went on a shopping trip. But all the bags full of things they bought were being given to Cinderella for her to carry.
Ugh! Take this quickly, I can't feel my arms anymore.
Her sister Cassandra said, "Hurry up, there are dozens of stores for us to visit. Come." Cinderella followed them through the shops patiently. After a while of them walking, a beggar with tattered clothes appeared in front of them. Just as he was about to ask for help, Jezebel said, "Ugh, get out of our way." And those two kept walking, but Cinderella couldn't ignore him. And then Cinderella secretly gave one of the bags to the beggar so that he could make some money from it. The beggar was so happy about this that he said to her, "You are a very good person, and I hope that every one of your wishes come true." And he really meant it. Just then, her stepsister Cassandra shouted at Cinderella, "What are you talking about with that beggar? Come here quickly." It was an order. Cinderella then ran to her siblings as quickly as she could. That evening, they finally got back home. While the sisters were happily looking through the clothes that they had bought, they noticed that one of their bags had gone missing. "One of the bags is missing. It is your fault. Tell me where you hid it," said Jezebel to Cinderella.
We saw how you looked at those bags. We know you stole it.
No, I didn't steal it. So someone else stole it. You couldn't keep an eye on a bag?
They interrogated her so hard that Cinderella eventually confessed that she gave the bag to the beggar. Then her sisters got very angry and started shouting at her. At that moment, somebody knocked on the door. It was the handsome prince of the country. The prince looked inside and said, "If I'm not mistaken, there is a young girl that helped a beggar here." The sisters looked at each other in surprise, and they started to say, "Me, me, me, no, no, me, me." They were fighting with each other.
My prince, the whole country knows that I am a very helpful person.
While they were pushing and shoving each other, the prince happened to see Cinderella watching on sadly from inside. He came up to her slowly. Cinderella couldn't help but say that she was the one who helped the beggar out.
She's lying to you, my prince. Don't believe her.
The handsome prince took Cinderella's hands in his own.
She is not lying. I know that it's you, because I was the beggar.
Cinderella held the prince's hands with both surprise and joy at what was happening. The prince turned to the sisters and said, "I have always been considered a man of the people. That's the reason I dressed up as a beggar." At hearing this, the sisters both bowed their heads in shame. And Cinderella started living a happy life with the prince, because everybody who does good in this world will surely be rewarded for it.
Cinderella and the Three Witches. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a magician named Xenia. Xenia believed that she was the most powerful magician that had ever existed. But when the fairy Leabelle broke one of her spells, Xenia realized that her magic had weakened. So, she used her magic to summon magicians and witches to join forces.
I'm calling for you, magicians and witches from everywhere.
Do you think the thing is turned on?
Give me a sign.
The first one to respond to Xenia's calls was the evil witch, Hela. Then, Vega from the underwater world came into conversation. And finally, they began to make treacherous plans together. Hela told that she wanted to destroy the beauty of Snow White. and Vega planned to take control of the underwater kingdom by harming mermaid Aria.
We must win a war against the princesses, but we will start with Cinderella.
Then let's go get Snow White.
And Aria.
As the trio of witches cackled with evil laughter, Cinderella awoke to a happy morning with her little mouse friends.
The rainbow is all above. Your prince will give you love. So never give up believing. Two hearts are never leaving. Dream, Cinderella, dream. Your heart shines in the stream. Dream, Cinderella, dream. Your heart shines in the stream.
How beautiful you look, my princess.
But before she could answer, the earth began to shake under their feet. The trees around them were about to fall over. They swung to the left and to the right. Cinderella's friend, the white pigeon, flew towards them nervously.
What's going on here? Please call for help, White Pigeon.
When the white pigeon noticed Cinderella's situation, she flew to the ocean with a letter to the underwater kingdom.
What is happening?
No, the castle! My prince, look! The castle is falling!
The castle began to fade away. It was about to be wiped from the earth. This was all happening because the three evil magicians, Xenia, Hella, and Vega, bewitched the castle together with the help of their crystal balls. They thought they couldn't be stopped.
And when the castle completely crumbles, you will disappear.
When Cinderella and Prince Leo ran away from the castle, it began to rain. So they took shelter under a hazelnut tree.
This is a hazelnut tree. That means we can call for Leobelle.
Cinderella put her hand on the hazelnut tree, closed her eyes, and called for the good fairy Leobelle.
Leobelle, help us to break the spell.
When she heard Cinderella's voice, Leobelle appeared under the tree and used her wand to find out what was going on.
There's witches in the tree.
Oh no, Cinderella! This is the work of 3 powerful witches. They are so strong. We must hurry up and break this spell.
With a little magic,
Whoa!
Fairy Leobelle took everyone to the castle. When they arrived, they couldn't believe what they saw. The old castle was gone. Instead, there was a new, evil-looking castle. Mozzarella and Cheddar were also in shock. Suddenly, Xenia the magician appeared in front of the castle, with Hella and Vega next to her.
You came to the wrong place. Now you don't have a home.
And now you will disappear too. Each of the evil witches started to fire magic bolts at Cinderella. Leobelle panicked and tried to shield Cinderella from the magic rays with her wand. But She was outnumbered, and the magic drained the power. She was almost defeated. She couldn't hold her magic wand any longer, and it dropped. Cinderella quickly took the magic wand and turned it to the witches. Fortunately, the light from the wand could stop the magic rays.
Oh no! Oh no! What are we going to do now?
But the evil witches wouldn't give up. This time, Vega used her power to defeat Cinderella by using water from deep down in the earth. She made the water split, and water streamed out.
Oh no! How could she do this?
You will never be able to defeat me. As the waters streamed all over, something unexpected happened. Little Mermaid Aria's father, King Poseidon, appeared.
I read your letter. Leave Vega to me.
Poseidon used his trident and directed some of the water towards the witches.
Throw the witch in the trash.
Stop!
You can't do this! Vega tried to stop the water, but she couldn't. Poseidon pointed his trident at the witches again and turned the water into ice, so that the witches were trapped in a giant ice block. Leabelle saw her chance to help. She reached out for her wand and used its power to wrap a chain around the ice block and put a big lock on them. Then she lifted them up and threw them onto a mountain where no one would ever dare to climb. Finally, the witches had been defeated.
Thanks, Poseidon!
Poseidon returned to the underwater kingdom. Good Fairy Leabelle made the new terrible-looking castle disappear and restored Cinderella's beautiful castle back to where it was. Prince Leo and Cinderella were so glad to have their castle back.
Thank you, Leabelle. No matter how evil the witches are, they will never be able to defeat your kindness. I will protect you forever, dear Cinderella.
The witches received the punishment for what they had done. They stayed trapped in the ice block on a mountain until the sun melted the ice and they returned to their lives.
This war hasn't ended here, Leabelle and Cinderella. As soon as Rapunzel's witch Camilla joins us, you will be defeated.
Cinderella's story. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, lived a beautiful girl named Cinderella. After Cinderella's kind mother died, her father married Lady Puffy. Lady Puffy had 2 arrogant, jealous, and quarrelsome daughters, just like herself. They would fight for hours, even over something as simple as a hairbrush.
Ah! Stop it! I said stop it! Give it back! It's mine! No!
One day, Cinderella's father had to take a long journey. Lady Puffy took this chance to give all the hard work in the house to poor Cinderella. Cleaning the whole house, carrying wood to the fireplace, and preparing meals took up all of Cinderella's time. Despite her hard work, Lady Puffy and her daughters were cruel and proud.
Mother, Cinderella is filthy. Don't let her eat in the same room with us. Don't let her sleep in our room. We're having nightmares.
You heard what my beautiful daughters have said. Go and find a place to sleep in the attic. Poor Cinderella settled in a dusty old room in the attic. Out of her small window, she looked down to the garden. And from time to time, she would talk to a snow-white pigeon.
Why, hello, sweet pigeon.
As the days went on by, while cleaning up her room in the attic, Cinderella met two little mice.
Who are you, little guys? Hi, I'm Cheddar. I am Mozzarella. And I am Cinderella. You little guys love to eat cheese, don't you? I will prepare a delicious meal for you. Yes. We are starving. We haven't been able to go to the kitchen for hours. There is a mean, hairy, sharp monster down there. That nasty cat, Papu. First thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to prepare a delicious breakfast for you two.
The next morning, Cinderella went to the kitchen without making any noise. The mean cat, Papu, waited in front of the tiny mouse hole in the kitchen to hunt Cheddar and Mozzarella. Cinderella silently took some pieces of cheese and headed to the attic. But then, Lady Puffy's daughters caught her.
What are you holding in your hand? And where are you going with it? It's just some cheese for breakfast. Mom! Cinderella is stealing our food. I'm stealing? I would never steal anything.
A thief and a liar. What an evil girl you are. The little mice went downstairs and started to run around the kitchen to scare the evil sisters.
Ah! Oh no! A mouse! There's a mouse in the house! Mom, I'm scared! Not one mouse, it's two! Ah!
Lady Puffy was just about to catch the mice when there was a knock at the door. The royal ambassador arrived.
His Majesty the Royal Prince has prepared a grand ball at the castle tomorrow night. All the young ladies around the country are invited to this ball.
As soon as they heard about the grand ball, Jezebel and Cassandra ran with huge excitement to their rooms and started to pick dresses for this important evening. Also, Lady Puffy wanted her daughters to look beautiful. So, the evil stepsisters forced Cinderella to prepare beautiful ball dresses for them. The next day arrived. Cinderella was very tired. Her little friends tried to wake her up.
Cinderella, wake up! Wake up! You have to go to the ball! But I don't even have a dress. The only dress I have is dirty. Close your eyes, Cinderella. We have a surprise for you.
Her little friends took Cinderella to the middle of the room. The white pigeon lifted the cover of the wall with its beak.
Ta-da! Ta-da!
I can't believe it! It looks amazing! Cinderella put on her new dress and did her hair, and finally went downstairs. But her evil stepsisters saw Cinderella and went crazy with jealousy. Lady Puffy didn't want Cinderella to go to the ball when she saw that she was prettier than her own daughters. So she threw a bowl of beans into the fireplace in the living room for Cinderella to pick up. If you can pick up the beans out of the ashes and put them back into the bowl within 5 minutes, you can come to the ball with us. Cinderella wanted to go to the ball so much that she began to pick up the beans. Her little friends saw her situation and came to help. Within 5 minutes, they picked up all the beans and put them back into the bowl. Cinderella ran after Lady Puffy, who was already leaving, and showed the full bowl to her. Lady Puffy still did not want Cinderella to go to the ball, so this time she used Cinderella's dirty dress as an excuse. And they left Cinderella in the house and went on to the prince's castle. Poor Cinderella was very sad. She sat down in the garden and wept and cried right under a hazelnut tree that her mother had planted long ago. And just then, the hazelnut tree began to shake and to shine, and a beautiful fairy appeared in front of Cinderella.
My name is Leabelle, and I am here to help you. Don't be sad. You will go to that ball as well. But how am I supposed to go to the ball like this? Leave that to me. I just need a pumpkin. The other things I need are already here.
Cinderella came back, holding a pumpkin in her hands. Fairy Leabelle began to wave her magic wand around and turned the pumpkin into a beautiful coach. The mice into very nice horses, and the pigeon into a well-dressed coach driver. Cinderella couldn't believe what she saw.
But how did you do this, Leabelle?
The fairy waved her magic wand again and put Cinderella in a beautiful blue dress. On her feet appeared sparkling glass slippers.
I look like a princess now. Thank you, Leabelle. Now it's time for you to go to the ball. Hurry up.
The fairy warned Cinderella before she headed to the ball.
But don't forget, you need to be back at midnight, or else the magic will be gone, and everything will be as it was before.
Cinderella listened to the fairy carefully and finally headed to the castle. The pumpkin coach stopped in front of the big castle. Cinderella, with her overwhelming beauty, entered the castle. The guests of the ball saw Cinderella and wondered who this beautiful young lady was. Neither Lady Puffy nor her daughters realized that this beautiful girl was Cinderella. Prince Leo moved towards Cinderella and fell in love at first sight.
Beautiful young lady, may I have this dance, please?
Cinderella was mesmerized by the magical dance with Prince Leo, so that she forgot about the time. When the clock was just about to strike 12, she remembered the fairy's warning.
You need to be back at midnight, or else.
Cinderella left the prince back and ran out of the castle quickly.
Where are you going? I don't even know your name.
Cinderella ran down the castle's stairs and all of a sudden lost one of her glass slippers. Unfortunately, she did not have time to go back and take it, so she ran to the coach as fast as she could and left the castle.
Find the beautiful owner of this lost slipper. If necessary, every girl in the country shall try on this shoe.
As soon as the clock struck 12, everything turned back to what it was before. Cinderella went back to her room in the attic. She thought about the magical night she had had with Prince Leo and realized that she fell in love. But it seemed to be impossible that the prince would recognize her with her old dirty clothes. Time passed, and the prince had a huge mansion built next to the castle for the precious glass slipper. All the young girls living in the next country visited this place to try the slipper on. Even Lady Puffy and her daughters visited the famous mansion, but did not take Cinderella with them.
You stay at home. It is impossible that the shoe belongs to you. Right, the shoe is going to fit Cassandra or to me. But I also am a young girl living in this country. I have the right to try on the shoe as well.
Lady Puffy did not even listen to Cinderella. She locked her up in the house and left with her daughters. Of course, the glass slippers did neither fit to Cassandra's feet nor to Jezebel's.
If I try only a little bit more, I think it will fit.
At nighttime, when the mansion's lights were sparkling, Cinderella made it out of the house, thanks to mozzarella and cheddar. She arrived at the majestic mansion and walked towards the sparkling glass slipper. As she was just about to try on the shoe, Prince Leo stepped into the room.
Stop! Don't move. You're going to damage the shoe.
No. It's my shoe. It fits me perfectly.
She is telling the truth. She is Cinderella.
Cinderella courageously put on the shoe in front of Prince Leo, and he realized that the shoe fits perfectly
That night,
to Cinderella.
you are the beautiful girl I danced with on that night. May I know your name?
My name is Cinderella, Your Highness.
Will you marry me, Cinderella?
Cinderella happily said yes to the prince, whom she fell in love with. They got married in the big castle and lived happily ever after. Cinderella, the Magic Slippers. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. The kind-hearted Princess Cinderella lived together with Prince Leo in a wonderful castle. There was an old lady living in their country who had been working in a bakery for a long time. She baked the most delicious breads. But hardly anyone knew that this old lady, Xenia, was indeed a dangerous magician. Xenia would always go into her magic room in the basement, hidden from everyone else, to prepare different potions for those who ask for her magic. As the days passed, Lady Puffy and her daughters, Cassandra and Jezebel, were still pursuing treacherous plans to take over the magnificent palace.
I'm sure there was some magic involved.
Cassandra mentioned the magician named Xenia, who was secretly preparing potions in her small basement room. On the same day, Cinderella and Prince Leo were planning to organize a ball at the castle. I'm going to wear my glass slippers to the ball. While the preparations for the ball were taking place, Lady Puffy and her daughters were already on their way to the evil magician. They walked along a forest road until they finally saw a sign with some strange letters written on it. As they moved towards the sign, they noticed a tunnel entrance and entered in. In this mysterious tunnel, which was very dark, candles lit up magically as they were passing by. And a little further down the path, an owl appeared in front of them.
Sweet rodents, who are you? What are you doing on this road? Don't you know the password?
Xenia, 1, 2, 3. Pour the potion quickly.
This is ridiculous. That's right. Follow me. I will lead you there. Flapping and flapping. Somebody turn the owl door for me, thank you. Clockwise. Very good, ladies. Xenia, someone here to see you.
There were a lot of potion bottles around. Boilers, ladles, clamps, different herbs, plants, and tiny bats flying around in the air.
Mommy! This place is so scary. Ah!
In the colorful smoke, Lady Puffy and her daughters waited eagerly for the magician. Finally, Xenia appeared wearing a black hat and raised her hat to show them her face.
Tell me, what spell do you want from me?
Lady Puffy realized that Xenia was actually her sister, who she hadn't seen in years.
But you are my sister. I can't believe my eyes. Puffy, it's you. We thought you were lost. You are a magician now? Yes, now I can have it all. Tell me, why do you need a spell?
The girls told Aunt Xenia that they wanted to take over Cinderella's life. Xenia decided to use a very powerful spell because her sister and her nieces were involved. At first, she asked for a hair of each girl and put it in a yellow bowl filled with some magical water. Then, she took the footsteps of Cassandra and Jezebel with the help of a basin filled with mud. She took the water, poured it into the footprints, and at that moment, Cinderella's slippers appeared on the wall directly in front of the girls.
Hiccups of horses and the speed of a cat. Cinderella's slippers will cause her to fall flat. At the sound of Puffy's voice, the glass slippers will go, only where she commands them to step to and fro.
My dear, I'll give me a ball and watch how Cinderella will fall. Can play with her like a doll and watch how the magic will flow. Magic is my everything. I can rule the world with it. Magic is my everything. I can capture all that I need. Magic is my everything. I can rule the world with it. Magic is my everything. Magic is my everything.
Finally, it was the night of the ball. Cinderella put on her favorite dress with her precious glass slippers and went to the ballroom. Lady Puffy and her daughters watched Cinderella secretly from a corner of the ball. All right, magic slippers, let Cinderella stumble. When Cinderella suddenly fell to the ground. Of course, she couldn't understand what was going on. She stood up quickly, but her feet would not stop moving, and she kicked the ball guests as they ran around the hall.
No! What is happening to me?
Cinderella ran back and forth, to the right and to the left. Neither the prince nor the ball guests could stop her. Finally, she came out of the ballroom and ran down the castle stairs, but still couldn't control her feet. In the meantime, Lady Puffy and her daughters watched Cinderella and giggled.
Princess Cinderella is leaving the castle.
Whoa, look at her go. Hey, I wonder where she's going.
Oh, the princess is leaving.
What happened to Princess Cinderella? Those shoes.
Cinderella quickly ran away from the castle. Get lost in distant lands, Cinderella. When all this happened, Cinderella's little friends, Mozzarella and Cheddar, asked Fairy Leabelle for help under a hazelnut tree.
Leabelle, come here, wherever you are. We need your help.
Leabelle suddenly appeared in front of Mozzarella and Cheddar and flew straight to where Cinderella was. The magic glass slippers changed their color and turned red. Leabelle waved her magic wand to Cinderella's shoes, but it did not help.
Slippers of speed, not meant to be comfy. Stop when your path gets muddy and bumpy.
The fairy's magic phrases created a swamp on the road. The glass shoes got stuck in the magic swamp, and they stopped. But unfortunately, Cinderella began to sink into the swamp too.
Help! Leabelle, I'm sinking!
Leabelle waved her wand 3 times, and wings grew out of Cinderella's shoulders. Cinderella used the new wings to escape the swamp.
Thank you, Leabelle. You saved my life, but I will never be able to see my glass slippers again. The glass slippers were bewitched, Cinderella. Hurry, let's go back to the castle.
Fairy Leabelle gave Cinderella new shoes, and they went back to the castle together. Cinderella was very happy to meet Prince Leo and her little friends again. When Lady Puffy and her daughters realized that their evil plan had failed, they left the ball immediately.
Ah, the good ones always win. I hate it.
Cinderella and her loved ones always stay happy. The owl watched everything and told the magician Xenia,
Lady Xenia, listen. The Sue thing did not work.
No! This can't be happening. How can they defeat a magician like me? Nobody can do that.
Whoa, calm down, woman.
Cinderella and the Magical Cake. Once upon a time, the beautiful princess Cinderella and her husband Leo lived in the biggest castle of the country. And her stepmother and stepsisters were jealous that Cinderella was a princess and they were not. So they were still plotting against Cinderella to take her position and her castle. Cinderella thinks that she's a princess, but she's forgotten who she really is.
Yes, she has. She was just the maid of our house. We have to put her back in her place. She's not fit to be a princess.
Lady Puffy was Cinderella's stepmother. With her 2 daughters, Cassandra and Jezebel, she went to the city's most delicious cake and muffin bakery. The baker was Lady Puffy's sister, Xenia, who was secretly a powerful wizard. There were never any customers in her store because she looked so scary and thin. Nobody wanted to buy her bread.
Oh, hey, my favorite customers, Sister Puffy and my nieces. Hello, Auntie.
We need you, sis. We wish to make a new evil plan for Cinderella.
So you're still miffed about Cinderella, huh?
Unless one of my daughters enters the castle as a princess, we will forever be miffed, sis.
All right. Just wait for me in the magic room downstairs.
Lady Puffy and her daughters descended into the mysterious magic room under the bakery. Xenia transformed her clothes into a wizard costume just by flicking her fingers once, and she too went downstairs.
Okay, so tell me, what kind of plan do you want me to cook up this time?
You will bake for us a huge, delicious, spectacular cake. But for the ingredients, while Lady Puffy and her jealous daughters were explaining their treacherous plan, meanwhile, in the castle garden, Cinderella was enjoying a beautiful day with her mouse friends. They were playing hide and seek.
I found you, Cheddar. Oh no, I got caught.
Let's see where mozzarella is. So, here? Oh no. Or behind that flower. Ta-da! I found you.
Ah, can't we even beat you in this game, Cinderella?
I guess not. Let's get something to eat. As Cinderella and her mouse friends were about to enter the castle, they heard some shouting behind them. Cinderella! Wait! Oh, Lady Puffy and my stepsisters?
Where did they come from? Careful that they don't hurt us.
Lady Puffy and her daughters were carrying a huge package. They slowly approached Cinderella.
Cinderella, the princess of our country. Our beloved sister, we brought a gift for you.
We apologize to you for all the bad things we did. Let our quarrels and arguments cease between us now. We are your dear family. So, are you going to be friendly now?
Yes, of course. Look, we made this beautiful cake in hopes that you would forgive us.
Cinderella was amazed by the cake. She wanted to take a bite right away. But her mouse friends tried to stop her because they did not believe Puffy's intentions.
Wait, Cinderella, don't eat it!
Cinderella did not listen to the mice and plunged her hand into the cake and started eating it like she was starving. Seeing this, Puffy and her daughters laughed with pleasure. Enjoy your meal, Cinderella. Cinderella began to sweat and feel bad before she could even swallow her last bite. Then she suddenly dropped the piece of cake in her hand, and her hands became tiny. Then her feet got smaller and smaller.
Ow! Cinderella, what is happening?
Cinderella suddenly became a tiny person. She was the size of a mouse.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm shrinking. I can't believe it. Everything looks huge and very dangerous.
Now look at the princess of our country. She got tiny like a mouse.
If Prince Leo sees you like this, he will definitely find another princess.
Come on, girls. Let's get to work right now.
Oh, yeah. Here we come, Prince Leo.
Puffy and her daughters nearly stepped on Cinderella as they rushed away to dress up pretty for the prince.
Ow! Watch out! How am I going to fix it? How? Don't worry, Cinderella. We can get to the hazelnut tree. The good fairy Leobelle will help us. Yes, let's get going before the prince sees you like this.
Cinderella and her mouse friends set off immediately. Everything looked so huge to Cinderella because of her size.
Everything is so huge. Does it always look this way to you, my mouse friends?
As they tried to get out of the castle's garden, Prince Leo appeared from the castle. As soon as Cinderella saw Leo's shoes, she knew it was him and hid.
There you are, mozzarella and cheddar. Have you seen Cinderella? I can't find her since this morning.
Well, couldn't she have gone to see her white horse?
Oh, of course, the barn. I didn't think to look there. Thank you.
When the prince moved away from the mice, Cinderella came out of the place she was hiding.
Hurry, Cinderella! We have to get you back to your real size before your stepsisters arrive.
Cinderella and her mouse friends began to run with all their strength to the hazelnut tree. Meanwhile, Cassandra and Jezebel got all dressed up and set off towards the palace.
My hair is so beautiful that when the prince sees it, he won't be able to stand it. No, the truth is the prince will faint when he sees me in this dress.
The stepsisters arrived at the castle after a while. And Cinderella, Cheddar, and Mozzarella finally arrived at the hazelnut tree. They were exhausted from running, and they touched the trunk of the tree to summon the good fairy.
Leobelle, come immediately wherever you are.
After a while, Leobelle appeared in glitters.
Cinderella, what happened to you? Help me, Leobelle. I ate from a magic cake brought by Puffy, and then I shrunk like this.
Oh, I know the magic that will restore you. Leobelle, who looked gigantic in Cinderella's eyes, shook her magic wand 3 times in the air. But Cinderella, instead of growing, became even smaller.
No! Leobelle, now you've shrunken Cinderella to the size of an ant. Oops!
So then, Leobelle pulled out an even stronger magic wand. And finally, Cinderella had returned.
You did it, Leobelle! You did it! Thank you! Let's get back to the castle right now!
Meanwhile, Prince Leo had given up looking for Cinderella and had returned to the castle hall. To his surprise, he found Jezebel in the hall. Jezebel tried to make him fall in love with her.
My prince! See my beauty? See my lovely hair? I dance very well also. La la la! Oh, no!
Cinderella finally arrived at the castle hall. And just as she did, Cassandra tried to approach Prince Leo. But when the prince saw Cinderella in the hall, he quickly ran towards her.
Gotta go. See ya. My princess, I looked everywhere for you. Where were you?
Cinderella told the prince exactly what had happened to her. How she ate the magic cake, how she got smaller, how she called the good fairy with the help of mice.
Cinderella, you're beautiful at any size. I will love you forever, no matter what.
No one could spoil the love of Cinderella and Prince Leo. Not even the evil Lady Puffy, her jealous girls, and their magic cake.